When this unit or spell will go
Give me,
to your graveyard.
give me a sec. Let me get a sec. Give me a second. Right here. Yo, my nigga, dog, what's up, man? Wow.
Oh, ¿qué pasa?
Starting from the top, now we're here. Dale, go for it.
Oh, the Hindu pantheon is here. Reincarnate. Reincarnate keyword. Alright, so when this unit or spell will go to your graveyard, return it to your hand, it loses Reincarnate. So, Blasty, tell me what you like about this.
Everything about it. Now, the fact that this is like I said, this is completely new, as we talked already. This is totally different. We have seen cards like Barter Soul that pretty much brings a card from the graveyard back to your hand, but reincarnated. Um, it's totally different. It not only brings the card from the graveyard back to your hand, it gives them another effect. It trades the current effect for the other one, or it adds to that. So I'm excited for this. It's really good.
I completely agree. This is really something. But what I like about it, it's that now you can play two ways. I see it like you can play two ways. Now you don't have to play something like War Behemoth every single time, because now you actually got more cards in your hand, which makes you feel like, hey, maybe I don't have to draw so many cards like I was doing every single Pantheon. So I can save these two spaces from the War Behemoths and just use my passive. But at the same time, you can still put two War Behemoths and completely abuse the fact that you're never going to run out of cards in your hand.
Yeah, that's also a thing.
So I'm just excited to see where this goes. So
Yeah,
Ganesha, Hindu leader, Pillar of Life, 2 mana. Deploy a Pillar of Life that heals a random friendly for 1 at the start of your turn. So I really think this is a strong passive, while it could be at the same time, like, I don't know, but I think it's pretty strong. I believe.
You think so? Okay.
I don't know.
Based on the heal, because it's a random. It randomly heals one enemy. I like that because I mean I don't like the fact it's randomly, but it's a pillar that you deploy. So every single time you deploy, if your opponent doesn't deal with this pillar, we're talking about potentially two health, 2 healing per turn, and then 3 healing per turn, and then 4 healing per turn. It could get pretty intense.
Okay,
if
so
you just play it on the back line.
I see how it can be weak because of the random, and the pillar only has 1 health. But I see it like it body blocks. It's a unit that you can actually deploy. You can summon it anywhere in the map. I believe.
That's a really good question. I don't even know that.
I'm not sure if it's anywhere in the map, but if it is, it's a lot more useful. And I don't know, it might have combos with something else. We haven't been analyzing enough. Matthew's the devil helps us up, man. So Acne, common, 6 mana, 4/4 range, Warcry, randomly deal 2 damage to enemies twice. So it chooses 2 random enemies and it does 2 damage, or it chooses 1 enemy and it does 4 damage.
It's we're pretty much seeing the same thing as Mercury here, but like buffed, right? So same thing, deals random damage. Instead of 1 is 2. And the cool thing is that when it reincarnates, it does 3 damage. So you pretty much have potentially, what is it, 10 damage from just a single unit.
Where you guys come from?
From 6 mana, and it goes back to 7.
Yeah, it's gonna cost 7. So I'm thinking about, okay, 6 mana for a 4/4 isn't that great, but it's a range unit. A 4 damage range unit is not that bad, and dealing 2 damage twice, so it's potentially 4 damage on the field, is pretty great. And for 7 mana, you can do 6 damage around the field. This is quite a lot of removal.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of removal. My only be like the 7 cost mana for pretty much a better Warcry, but still is a 4/4 range unit, and it puts you in this like a position where do I really want to just drop a 7 unit for this? And I don't even know, like, if your opponent has a lot of board control, I mean board presence, it's gonna be like not as of a powerful unit as, let's say, something else like a Blademaster or a Fire Giant,
Okay, yeah, I see
because
it.
it's randomly, right? So you sometimes in the late game you kind of like want to choose who do you want to remove, because it defines it's the difference between winning or losing a game in the late game.
Mm-hmm.
So Agni for a 7/7 drop. All right, the Warcry is pretty good. We're talking about 6 damage to board instantly on Warcry. But the thing is the 4/4, right?
Yeah. Four damage range is not horrible. The strongest thing other than that would be, I don't know, Venator
Sylvanas.
or Sylvanas who do 5, but they're not really. There's not really that much range units that do a lot of damage. So 4/4 is not that bad in terms of
Yeah,
range.
I
Okay,
think it's better than Sylvanas in a sense. In a sense.
yeah, I can see it because you can silence it after. It's just a solid unit on the board.
Hmm.
Okay, so Call of Avatar. I don't think I've seen this, or if I did, I don't remember. Epic,
Okay,
6
okay.
mana. Copy. Yeah, what happened? You
Yeah,
want to say something?
go. I'm sorry,
Okay.
go first. Go
Common,
first.
6 mana. Oh, wait. Epic, 6 mana. Copy every friendly god in play and spawn an avatar of them. These avatars have B, charge B, and die at the end of the turn. Okay, so I did see it in the video.
What video? Oh, and the
Patch
that
notes.
one you saw in the video? Okay, I didn't saw it. I actually didn't saw the video, but this I'm happy. I'm happy they made this when Scott and Adonis was making the Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him if he had an idea about just having units that you deploy and they die at the end of the turn, and he said he wasn't looking to do something like that because he explained why, and it was understandable. But when I saw Call of the Avatar, I was like, okay, he took into consideration what I actually told him. So as you can see, the avatars die at the end of the turn after each. These charge units die at the end of the turn. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually happy that he took into consideration that. And I talked him into in the Ask Gandhi section, and I told him, you know what, you should have just called it Call of the Blast DMD instead of Call of the Avatar.
Hmm. So right now, this is very interesting. It copies every single god, and right now we're in a god meta. Like all you see for that are not gods are Blade Masters, Fire Giants, Chaos Spawns, and maybe War Behemoths from time to time, or it depends on the deck. But you're seeing a lot of god plays, so this thing is gonna get a lot of play, I believe. Maybe at least one in your deck for the special occasions because it has charge, and if it spawns an avatar, I believe you decide where you're gonna spawn it. It's not gonna spawn randomly.
Well, that's interesting. I don't know about that either. All I know is this card is gonna be really really strong against Zeus, like really really strong.
Yeah.
So we might look at a direct counter to Zeus.
So let's see. And that's a problem. That Zeus doesn't need any more counters.
Yeah, definitely.
Bagasura, Hindu, common 3 mana, 3/3 melee. Reincarnate attacks now ignores immunities and protect. So I'm in a little. I don't know how I feel about this because, okay, common 3 mana, it's a 3/3 melee. For 3 mana, 3/3 is not that bad. Anything better would be Bronze or, I guess, Dune Speaker.
Doom Speaker, yeah.
But what takes the cake is the Reincarnate. Attacks now ignore immunities and protect. The problem is, what has immunity and what has protect in this game? Nobody uses protect over immunities. At least not as much as they used to.
Well, I would say, like I said, this another kind of like direct counter to Zeus Aphrodite, and
Mm-hmm.
and the Nua Pantheon also has like the immunity
Mm-hmm.
effect from attacks. So we can see it from that. I don't see it since in the meta we are now, the immunity spells are not being used.
No.
And protect from Zeus, we pretty much have Aphrodite. So I don't see Bakasura being that strong of a pick for a deck, especially when we're talking about reincarnate. So the thing to consider in reincarnate is that you drop Bakasura on mana 3, and then if you want to drop Bakasura again after reincarnate, you probably will drop him into either 4 or 5 mana. And Bakasura and 5 mana is not something you really want to drop. You want to go for a curve drop, have a little bit more board presence,
No.
and all I see here, Bakasura not being really that strong on this meta.
So Bakasura, I think right now it instantly needs a buff, and that's gonna be, it can also ignore guard, because that way it doesn't get countered against versus baboon. Or if it is ignoring guard, then the text is wrong here because it's not specifying. But yeah, Bakasura is gonna be weak. I believe it's gonna be weak, like, because immunities aren't being played and protect either.
Yeah, just this question because I don't even remember. Is parting is not an immunity, right? This when like Harpy or not Harpy, the other one, Gold Fury. That's not an immunity, right? Just pardon.
Yeah, like just pardon. It's not an
Okay.
immunity.
Yeah, that's not immunity. Okay.
If Bakasura had pardon, then that would be a lot stronger, but it doesn't.
Mhm.
Either way, dispatch Hindu, common 3 mana, return a unit to its owner's hand for 3 mana. Reincarnate costs 4. So that means you can run. Holy crap! This is very interesting. That means you can run 4 return 4. What's the name of that card in the Nuwa deck?
Recall.
4 recalls in this deck for 2 cards. So this basically means you got 4 extra cards for the cost of 2. I mean, 2 extra cards for the cost of 2. That's another way of seeing Reincarnate. This deck doesn't have 25 cards. It has way more than 25 cards.
Yeah, the way I see it, we're pretty much looking at a possibly 35.
It could have 35, 30 cards in this deck. So
Yeah.
the deck is huge. You're never gonna run out of cards. Okay, your deck is gonna run out of cards, but your hand it's not gonna feel that way. I believe it shouldn't feel that way.
Yeah, my only concern about the reincarnate is if your deck is full of like a lot of reincarnates, then you're gonna be in a position where you might have too many cards in your hand
Mm-hmm.
and you won't have any space for the extra card you're about to draw.
Yeah, I believe it's gonna be weird, but I believe a good counter against this Pantheon, it's gonna be Zeus, because you can play. What's the name of the card that takes the things to his hand again?
Ascension.
Ascension. You can play Ascension when your opponent has like 5 pillars on the board. That's 5 cards in his hands that your opponent doesn't want. And you can force your opponent to lose cards or have to waste mana because he's going to lose cards that he wants to draw. And when you kill a unit, he's going to get another card in his hand. So that's going to be a counter. Force your opponent to waste cards in his deck and force him to fatigue. That's going to be a way to counter this Pantheon.
Yeah, that's a pretty good counter, especially with the Ganesh ability just be placing pillars.
Yeah. So if he goes crazy and places a lot of passive, and you Ascension that, he's gonna lose too many cards from his deck. So that's something you gotta keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Okay. Echo Blast, free, 3 mana, deal 3 damage. Reincarnate now deals 1 damage. So I love this card and I hate this card. Dealing 3 damage is great. I think it's something every Pantheon should have. Magma Slams, Gift of Munnings. This is basically the same thing, but now Reincarnate gives another one. Now this is the problem. It deals 1 damage and it costs 3 mana. You're never gonna use that. It's gonna be really rare when you're gonna want to use that. 3 mana for 1 damage. That is usually not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. And if you have it in your hand, you're kind of like gonna be in a position where like, all right, if I'm full or I have pretty good like a lot of cards in my hand, I really want to waste cards. This is one of the cards. No, this is one of the cards you are less likely to use, but might be forced to.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, yeah, I am not in favor of this deal 1 damage. Maybe 2 damage would have been bad because we're talking for 6 mana deals 5 damage, which is not entirely bad.
Or maybe not deal 2 damage, just lower the mana to 2, maybe?
Yeah, that would be even better. Because we got Sunder that deals 2 damage for 1 mana, I believe.
So you don't lower it to 1 because maybe that would be OP. You lower it to 2.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Okay, so this could be a thing. Flourish, Hindu. Common, 3 mana, give a unit +1/+1, reincarnate, now it gives +2/+2.
Yeah, I like this one. This is
So,
pretty good.
yeah, I think. Mm,
Think a bit about this. Is a spell card. So we're talking about in a 6 mana turn, you can pretty much play this card, gives +1/+1, and then play it again and you pretty much give your unit +3/+3 in a single turn. So it's something to take into consideration. It's not bad of a card.
hmm. Oh, so that's what it means. You drop, gives +1/+1. It dies. It comes back to your hand, and then you use it again. It gives +2/+2. So you can
Yeah.
give the same unit +3/+3. Okay, uh, that's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think it's pretty insane. When it comes to spells and reincarnation, it's pretty much saying you can use a spell twice and
In the same turn.
Yeah,
Hmm.
get a
Yeah,
pretty interesting effect.
that's gonna be really hard and really annoying to counter.
I believe so.
Because I would like to see this. You know what an awesome combo with this would be? Vamana, Blade Master. I mean Vamana,
Oh,
Fire Giants, Bull
yes.
Demon Kings. So now the Bull Demon King is gonna do 6 damage cleave. Vamana is gonna do 7 damage cleave. I mean that's pretty crazy.
Fire Giant 8 damage cleave. Yeah, this is. I like this. I like this.
I didn't think about that, but this is gonna be massive. I don't know. I'm not sure if you would run 2. Maybe you only run 1, but run is enough. Run if it's. I think 1 would be enough. Maybe 2 would be either too much or completely OP. I'm not sure what's gonna happen here.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, the thing is, you won't be able to play them all at the same turn. If we were talking like in a 10 mana turn,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much we'll play 3, and then you have the one reincarnate flourish waiting on
Mm-hmm.
the next turn.
True. Okay, illusion. Rare 5 mana, create a friendly clone of any unit in play. So you can basically drop 5 mana and create a fire giant.
My question is, does it create? Does it does only stat, or does it go for effect as well?
I think it does the effect too. I think it uses the fire giant's cleave.
I guess so, because it's not the same as the other spell card, which is an avatar of the unit. This one just pretty much clones it. So I'm guessing the same thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna have the effect. So this is gonna be interesting. Create a friendly clone. I guess it. I think this one is actually random because I saw the video.
Okay.
I think this one's actually random, so that could be a good thing or a bad thing. And
No,
I'm pretty sure it's gonna clone the. It clones. It doesn't clone war cries, but I think it clones charge.
oh, clones charge. That would be interesting.
I'm not sure if this works like recruiter and all of those cards that spawn around them thing. When those cards have charge, you can use it automatically. So I believe this is gonna work the same way.
Okay, so yeah, that'll be. I mean, 5 mana for a charged Playmaster just to counter your opponent's Playmaster is pretty insane.
Yeah, that's still good. That's still very good.
Yeah, still good.
But same thing, maybe only run 1. So Kali, this is the legendary for Hindu, and I was not expecting that because I saw the trailer that it showed. It didn't explain anything, and I said this looks kind of weak. But then then we saw the effect on the video. Holy crap, man! Kill a unit with 4 or more health.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a card you're gonna have for. It's your executioner. It's your removal thing. And when it dies, it comes back to life, so you can use it again. It's your executioner. It's your execute. It's the one card you want, probably since the first hand, so you can just secure it. It kills anything with 4 health.
Yeah, it's really good because it will kill also. It will one shot the War Behemoth, which is really good because you don't want to give if you don't have a Chaos Spawn, you pretty much don't want to give your opponent too much. If you're like in hand, you have hand advantage, and you want to prevent your opponent from drawing. This is a really good card to play against a War Behemoth, or if you just want to end the Fire Giant. This card is really, really good for the late game, and it's reincarnate, giving it +3/+3. We're talking about a 6/6 for 6 mana. I like the stats. It's a really good card.
I realized something. If you use Flourish, because Flourish gives a unit +1/+1, so you can give an enemy unit. If you give Flourish to a unit that has 3 health, then you can drop Kali and kill it.
Oh,
So that's another combo that might come in handy sometime. Because Kali kills a unit with 4 or more health, which means if the Blade Master of your opponent's Blade Master is in 3 health, it won't kill it.
Okay, that's something to take into consideration. Yeah, it's true.
So you might need to buff your opponent's unit so you can kill it with Kali.
Yeah, yeah, I see how Flourish will actually combo really well with Kali.
So Kumbhakarna, rare, 4 mana, 06, melee. It has guard, has 0 movement. Reincarnate gives +6, +0, and 3 movement. So he's a unit that doesn't move. He's basically worse than a zombie, but he has guard, so he's protecting your stone with 6 health. If he dies, he comes back to life. Well, you summon it again for only 4 mana, which is huge. A 6/6 unit with 3 movement, which is normal. For 4 mana, it's really big.
Yeah, I think this is super good for, especially like just 06 with guard for 4 mana is really good because on 4 mana there's not many stuff that can deal with Kumbhakarna, right? So maybe at 5 mana or 6 mana there will be units that will be able to deal with him, or spell cards, and by the time you pretty much deal with Kumbhakarna, you will have him reincarnated as a 6/6. You know, it's like it puts you in a position where, do we really want to take out Kumbhakarna? Like you kind of like want to silence him.
Yeah,
just
he wants to silence it.
Yeah, so just so you don't have to kill him, which I think is fine.
Silencing is the one thing you're gonna want to do.
Yeah.
Moksha, rare, 3 mana, silence a friendly with reincarnate, then deal 5 damage to an enemy unit. I will take it. It's 5 damage for 3 mana. That is a lot of damage. Okay, so that might be the reason you want Bakasura in your deck.
Okay.
So
I see it.
You remove Bakasura's reincarnate and then you do 5 damage. That's a lot of damage for 3 mana.
Yeah, I think that, 5 damage is really a lot of damage. Bakasura, the lowest of the Pantheon that we found, lowest mana card. I think I don't remember. I think it's Bakasura, right?
Yeah, he is.
So far, he's the lowest. So with reincarnation, so I guess playing a Bakasura and just going for this with this card is like the way to go. We're talking about turn 4, you can pretty much kill any unit that your opponent spawns. So I like it.
So that was Moksha. Pact of Artha, common, 2 mana, change ownership of 2 units with the same mana cost. So this is for 2 mana. 2 mana is not that much, but how do you combo this? Why would you do it? Because if your opponent has a fire giant and you have a fire giant, why would you trade that? Maybe there's a pillar that combos with this.
I don't know. I haven't read all the passion. Maybe there is a pillar that could give give mana to something, right? Maybe increase the mana.
I don't know. Let's see. Unit. Yeah, we're gonna have to see. Epic, pillar of austerity. Jesus. Epic, 3 mana, structures, 03. The next card your enemy attempts to play is countered, and this unit is killed. Can be deployed anywhere.
Oh my god, this card is so good.
So this forces your opponent to waste a card. Because you can't silence it. You can't silence it.
Yes, pretty much. Yes. You're not gonna silence it, I think. It's you're gonna kill it with the Chaos Spawn, so maybe that's the way he's gonna go. He's gonna counter. What I want to know is, does he counter effects only? I'm pretty sure it's just effects.
So let me see really quick. Epic 3 mana structure. The next card your enemy attempts to play is countered, and then in this unit is killed. Oh, so maybe a counter is just drop the Chaos Spawn and you killed it.
Yeah.
But you can't drop anything else. No, because it says it's countered. So what's the point? That means I can drop a something useless. Think of something. I can drop a Doom Speaker and it's not gonna die. No, I think it literally kills it.
That's interesting. I want to know how does it counters it, because if it only counters effects, then that means Doom Speaker is not gonna be countered, right? Because it doesn't say destroy the unit or anything. It just says counter it.
Let's see. Maybe it needs to work in the text. And it can be deployed anywhere. So that's a thing.
And that's the body block. You occupy a tile with that, which is really good.
Pillar of Creation, common, 3 mana structure, 03. Whenever you play a structure, spawn a 2/2 with avatar charge. Can be deployed anywhere. Common, 3 mana structure, 03. Whenever you play a structure. Okay, so I'm not sure why would you deploy in this thing in your opponent's side of the field, but
me neither. I mean, let's see. It's a 3/3 mana. I mean, you common, so you will run 2. You could make a pillar deck and then you just pretty much occupy all tiles.
Yeah, I think this deck is full of pillars. Basically.
You can just do that.
I don't know. I'm so confused. Pillar of Earth, common, 2 mana structure, 03. All enemies have their movement reduced by 1. So I'm curious to know what you think about this. Okay, the only thing is that it makes zombies useless, and it makes range units really incredibly stupidly slow.
Yeah, they will pretty much move by 1 tile. They will become zombies with range.
It kind of counters Odin, kind of, because now Odin can't charge you.
Yeah, basically they won't be able to reach stone. I guess it's pretty good. It's a pretty good counter to Odin. Well, aggro Odin is aggro Odin is still a thing, but in the recent tournaments we haven't seen aggro Odin that prominent. We haven't seen actually nobody play aggro Odin after the patch of Stone of Ire. We've seen a lot of mid-range Odins and no aggro Odins. So I see Pillar this one being a really good counter to Odin. Actually, you know what? I actually see it as a really good counter to Odin thanks to Stone. So
it is.
No unit.
It is a huge counter.
Yeah, it's a huge counter. I'm sorry, it is a really huge counter. I don't see any unit. This is pretty much you silence it and you can be aggressive, or you're just gonna have to wait a turn to attack. Pretty much.
So if ever the meta turns into super early like it was a few metas ago, this is a card everybody's gonna run.
Yeah.
So Pillar of Exile, free 2 mana structure, 03, can be deployed anywhere. Warcry, banish a unit until this pillar is destroyed. I love this. 2 mana, 03. It can be deployed anywhere, so you can deploy it in your corner of the field where it's gonna be protected by something else, and it banishes a unit until this pillar is destroyed.
Yeah, dude. We're talking about a card that you can play on your first turn. So, so far being seen, like some of the cards, they have this deck might have the potential for tempo. That's what I'm seeing, right? So giving you board presence and just the ability to just flood the board and put your opponent at a really big disadvantage. And this pillar is one of them that you don't exactly need to play it in the early game. You can just play it mid range, or late. This is a really really good card to just hold on to a fire giant until you got the answer to destroy it. So I like this.
This is great. Okay, Pillar of Fortitude, common, 2 mana, 03. All friendlies you deploy gain +0/+2. So it costs 2 mana. So what I liked about this is that you can play it in the late game and drop like 2 more units, and that way they automatically gain +2. And it says that it gains +2. It doesn't say they gain +2 until this structure is dead. So your units are gonna be beefy.
And they're gonna be beefy, and it's gonna be forever. Which I like.
So I would see play. Not sure. I will try it. I will definitely try. Well, to be fair, I will try every single card, but I think it's gonna be seen played.
Where you guys
for a while
from?
MIC, depending on how the meta is, if it's really really aggro, I see this card being played because I mean buffing your units for 2 earlier, or like in the early stages, means that your opponent's gonna have a little bit of a trouble just trying to take them down. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like this card.
So Pillar of Parity, common 2 mana, structure 01, only 1 health. All enemies units have 1 less attack.
Meh.
I mean, it counters Odin.
It
Kinda.
counters. This Pantheon is countering a lot.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, the
and
Pantheon.
it doesn't say to play anywhere, so I guess it occupies a space.
That's the only thing.
Pillar of
That's good.
Patience. Epic 4 mana, structure 07. Enemy spells cost 1 more. So
I like this.
yes, this card is pretty good. I think this is this is
Hades.
the Hades
Spells.
of spells. Yeah. I don't know. It says it by itself.
It's a counter to Ra. Can we say it that way? Because you got
and to
execute for
Nuwa.
5 mana.
And Nuwa too.
Yeah, you got Executioner for 5 mana, and he won't be able to double Executioner anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, Nuwa Crescent Blaze will be for 2. So this is gonna be.
Matmos Lands will be for 4.
Yeah, dude. So this is gonna be a card that, if it's gonna be heavily played on decks, maybe not stable, but it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be seeing a lot. You're pretty much gonna see a newer players opting to go Chang'e just to kind of like mitigate the effect of this pillar.
Pillar of Retribution, rare 3 mana, structure 03. The next spell your opponent plays, it's copied and added to your hand. And this pillar is destroyed. It can be deployed anywhere. So I really like this card for saving it for your turn 5, for example, and you have a lot of units on your board. You wait until that moment. You know your opponent is gonna have a sick annihilation. So you drop this card and force your opponent to use annihilation, because if he doesn't, you're gonna do so much damage with all of your units that you have in your board. So he has to drop the annihilation, and you can get his annihilation.
Yeah, I think the only Pantheon I don't want to play this pillar is against Nuwa, because I think he can just pretty much Crescent Blade.
Yeah, that will be so bad.
Yeah, it will be so
my God.
bad. It's easy. It will be easy for Nuwa to remove Pillar of Retribution.
Yes. Okay. Prescience, rare 1 mana. Discover the top 3 cards of your deck. Select one. Place the others on the bottom of your deck.
Okay, this is a graceful charity. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, dude, I'm actually excited about this card, because it's gonna bring back a lot of memories, and I like being able to just take a little bit of control of your deck, because pretty much your deck is randomly generated. You just don't know what's gonna come to your hand, and having a little bit of control of your deck is really, really good. We're talking about potentially not just selecting what card you want to have in your hand, but the 2 cards you pretty much want to set up for late game, or you least need for draw. So you're pretty much saying like, okay, these 2 cards I could have it in the late game or the last 2 draws. I don't want to draw them any moment. I mean, through the duration of the game, because maybe I have a better setup or whatever. So it's pretty much have control over 3 cards, which is pretty good for me.
But it kind of has a, so how do you say that? Una navaja doble filo. It's like a blade.
Double-edged blade.
It's a double-edged blade, because one of those 3 cards were really good. Yeah, and now you gotta wait 23 cards to get them.
Yeah, it's pretty much a gamble. It's a gamble. Basically, the whole game here is a gamble. So
yeah,
it's a really good card. You just, if it does happen that you got like really 3 good units, and you got to choose between one of them, and then just put the other 2 in the bottom, then you're gonna have to change your strategy and try to find a way to maybe stall till like the end, or just find a way to just, I don't know, play without those 2 cards extra.
Yeah, either way, it's gonna be good just to know what you have in your deck.
Yeah.
Ravana. No, Rama. I love Rama. Free 2 mana, 2/1 range. Your opponent cannot use their leader ability.
Yeah, this is good, dude. This is another counter to Odin.
This might be
Pretty
the
much.
best 2-drop in the whole game. I don't know. But
This is a counter to Odin because the 1/1s won't come in. Apwatch cannot summon a 1/1. Nuwa cannot kill Rama with her Crescent Blades. This card is insane.
And Bellona cannot teleport units.
Oh shit! And I like this. I like this. This is a pretty. At first glance it feels like kind of like underrated, but like when you really think about it, this card is insane.
It's great.
It just there's like 3 or 4 pantheons that can utilize their passive really well in the early.
It counters pretty hard. It forces your opponent to waste a really shitty spell card just to kill Rama, and then you might drop another one because you can have 2 of them. Yeah,
and not only that, it slows your opponent by a little bit because usually Odin's just drop 1/1 on the first turn or a Ratatosker. So if they don't have a Ratatosker, they're forced to drop a 1/1. But if you got Rama, that means they won't be able to do nothing. Nuwa, usually you don't see that much Imperial Soldier being played on deck, so you don't have that 2-drop. So you pretty much your only choice is 2 Crescent Blades. So with Rama, you don't have a Crescent Blades. Same thing goes with Upwatch, pretty much.
Rama is gonna be crazy. Ravana, legendary or Raven, legendary 5 mana, 4/4 melee, immune return damage, protect 1. Reincarnate gains immune to enemy spells. So for 5 mana, you got a 4/4 melee that first it has Pardon and Protect, and then it has enemies immune to enemy spells.
Yeah, what I want to know is, do you see the text says gains immune? I don't know if it's adds it to the current effect, or it just pretty much it's just immune and it loses the return damage and protect. Right? So if it were what I think, I may be wrong, but if it were that, adds the immunity to spells to the rest of the effect, then it's a pretty good legendary that I would definitely play it.
So Tribute of Stone, free, 1 mana. Give a friendly unit protect 1. Reincarnate now gives protect 2. It only costs 1 mana. I think it's a good card, but I don't think I would run it because it's gonna occupy space.
I think it's a dead drop. Protect not being that
valuable.
Not being that valuable. I mean, for 1 mana, basically for 2 mana, you get 3 protect. Think of it that way.
Does it stack?
It should. I hope it does.
If it stacks, this card is crazy.
If it stacks, it's so crazy. But we've seen so far protects that don't stack. So okay. I want to know the interaction between the same card. If it stacks, it's crazy because we haven't seen. Actually, I think we have seen a 3 protect, or maybe not.
Yes, it's possible to have a 3 protect, but it's a weird way to do it.
It's a weird way to do it, right? Yeah. So if it's possible, 3 protect, we're talking about 3 protect on turn 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can pretty much drop a unit on turn 3, on mana 3, and then go for mana 4 and do this. And we're talking about a unit that won't be killed by other units on the board. So I like it. Forces your opponent to use a spell.
Yes.
So to say. But then you gotta think it's like, well, you use a 2 mana spells to force your opponent for 3 spells. Is it worth it or is it not worth it? We're talking about a card that will occupy pretty much 1 card on your deck. I guess I will run 1.
Maybe 1.
Instead of 2. Yeah, maybe 1 is really good. Because you can play it in the late game as well. We're talking about just 2 mana. You can play Fire Giant into this. A 3 protect Fire Giant is not bad.
So the chat answered, I don't think it stacks. It gives protect 1. I mean, it says give protect 1, not give protect plus 1. So that makes sense. Yeah,
that would make sense.
It's not giving plus, so yeah, he might be right. Dukias, thanks for your feedback. Vamana, epic 3 mana, 1/1 melee, reincarnate gains +3/+3, +3/+3, and attacks now hit all adjacent enemies. So Vamana has cleave for 3 mana. He's an awesome.
Yeah. My only issue with this is the fact that he's 3 mana and a 1/1. I would have liked if he would have been 2 mana for 1/1 and then reincarnate go 3 mana for 3/3.
Okay, I see that.
Because you're pretty much looking to drop a reincarnated Vamana on 4 mana, and I don't even know. I mean, I don't think that's really strong. I like the fact that you got cleave early, but on a 4 mana, you're pretty much dropping Vamana, right, for 3/3, and then your opponent can pretty much summon a Uguay or something else that pretty much has more attack, more health than a Vamana.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see this epic 2 mana 1/1 and then reincarnate as a 3, because this way you can pretty much drop it in the first turn, and then on the second turn you gotta reincarnate a Vamana 3/3. I feel like that's pretty strong that way.
So yeah, I see what you mean about the 1/1.
Mm-hmm.
But once he dies, once your opponent kills it or you kill it yourself, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he gets pretty good. If I don't know how, if you could actually, if you drop it at 3 mana, you're not gonna be able to do anything else. So yeah, you gotta wait next turn.
So Void Zone, rare. I mean, I believe this card was amazing. Rare 1 mana, target the enemy summoning stone until the start of your next turn. Silence all enemy units who end their turn adjacent to it.
Oh my god, I haven't read this. This is not alright. So it's not whole board, but at least it's around it, which is really good. We're talking about Nuwa's trying to play Alquans or Guan using the back line. We're talking about
They can't.
boons. There's a lot of stuff that usually your opponent plays in the back line. Thoth, Canopy Jar.
This is a way to abuse your opponent from not dropping anything.
Yes, we're talking about just 1 mana.
Yes.
It's so good, so good. I will definitely have this card in my deck.
This card is. I think it's gonna be really overpowered. I'm not sure if it's gonna get nerfed or anything. And I see how you can play around it, but if you play it well, you can force your opponent into a situation where he has to drop a unit, or just not drop it at all.
Yeah. This is a card you're not looking to drop after your opponent just pretty much drop the really important unit. This is pretty much you predicting that your opponent is gonna deploy a unit that will give you a hard time, and you pretty much go for the Void Zone, and then you stall for 1 turn, and you set up for this deploy. Right? Mm-hmm. Pretty much this is what I'm looking at.
So now I want to go up real quick, and I want to talk. This is gonna be the last thing I want to talk about is the Lernean Hydra.
This card is going to be auto include in every deck.
In every single deck.
So you know. Yeah, just so you know.
I think it's gonna be better in some decks more than others. For example, Bellona. I think this card is gonna run amazing with Bellona.
It will run. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna run super good with Bellona. You can force situation onto your opponent that he doesn't want to, and which is really, really good. But I see what you mean. Bellona, of all the Pantheons, maybe Bellona is going to utilize this card the most. I see Sue's utilizing as well because of the teleport. So yeah. You got a little bit of control there too.
Mm-hmm.
But this card for me is maybe I'm saying it. I'm saying too much by saying he's going to be an auto include. But this is a card that your opponent has to deal with it. We're talking about a unit that will only take 1 damage from any source. So you pretty much need 5 units to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Or a spell card, right? If your opponent doesn't have a spell card, then it's gonna be insane for him. We're also talking about Pantheon Nuwa can just go for the immune to spells, and he's forced to Chaos Bond. And if he actually played 2 Chaos Bond already, and you play this in the late game, and you immune it, then good riddance. You're gonna have a hard time taking out this Hydra.
I think the Pantheon that's gonna have the easiest time against this card is gonna be Nuwa. just because. Okay, you got the Chaos
Crescent
Bonds
Blade.
that everybody uses. You got the Crescent Blades that are really cheap, and if you run them with Chang'e, you can make a cool combo. The same thing with Guan Yu, and other than that, you got Habwa and you got recalls. So it forces your opponent to play incredibly slow because even though this card is really good, if you force it back to your opponent's hand, it's 6 mana your opponent has to waste again, and that makes it really really slow. So I think Nuwa can abuse the fact that your opponent uses some card like this, but if she doesn't, this is a ridiculous card. It's incredibly stupid.
This is a ridiculous. Like it actually is stupid. It's a really stupid card. I think the only Apache is gonna be able to deal gonna be able to use decay on him, but mostly I think the only two pantheons that can really fare well against this card will be Ra and Nuwa, because Ra is heavy removal, has a lot of spells to remove, and then Nuwa Crescent Blades. You can pretty much Crescent Blade him down or just use Aquan with Crescent Blades. So you got the kit to pretty much deal with this Hydra. But cards like Bellona doesn't have any spells that will be able to one-shot it. You need 2 spells, and currently, if you use 2 spells on the Hydra, you pretty much got a lot of value out of that Hydra.
Yes, you're getting huge value. Even if your opponent removes it in 1 turn, you probably still got a lot of value.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for patch notes. I already covered the neutral units on the News of the Gods channel, so if you haven't watched that, make sure you go check it out in the News of the Gods channel. I have a version in Spanish and in English. I covered the balance. I didn't cover bug fixes. Bug fixes. What is this? Fix an issue where units that had charge and Warcry appeared with Warcry twice. I didn't know that. I think. Gold.
Wait.
That's bug fixes at the end. Gold cards now always appear on the left of the default card in collection. Okay.
Oh, the Warcry. Yeah, I saw this in the bugs section. It
Really?
says the Warcry instead of charge. Yeah. It happens to some people.
Oh well. That's it for patch notes, guys. Make sure you check it out. Check us out on the Twitch channel. superxjj.tv/superxjj_ and Twitch. I mean, that's twitch.tv, my bad. And twitch.tv/heyblasty. Is it .com? No. Twitch.tv/heyblasty. And that's where you're gonna find us. I'm gonna be streaming right now. I'm gonna go stream some Hand of the Gods. Blasty, what are you gonna do? You got work or something?